Welcome to the Sandbox, the #1 podcast for Sandbox gamers and hardcore PvP action. But be warned, viewer discretion is advised. And now your hosts, Bullet, Quint, and Nate Trial.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Sandbox, episode number 55? 55?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
54-ish? I don't know.
Shoot, let me go check.
Yeah,
Anyway.
like 55.
I think we should stop counting. It's 55. You were right. That was my bad.
So anyways, we're all here. Quint, let's cool it. What's up, dude?
What up, what up?
And Nate, what's going on, man?
What's going on, everyone?
So it's been a little while, man.
I feel like we
4 months.
We open a lot of podcasts. That's the first thing we say. It's been a little while. That's all right.
You know what? I think that we're different than a lot of other podcasts is we don't podcast when we're gaming as opposed to the opposite. Because we would say, well, we're going to podcast, but we were too busy playing games.
Yep.
Anyway.
We were really into some games the last few months.
God, I don't know how many games we've played since the last time we podcast, but a lot.
Of them.
Most of them.
Everything.
Plus our new PS4 addiction has been kicking in as well.
Yeah, we are now console gamers.
Yep. Filthy
A
casuals.
little bit. Still got the Mortal double sub going though, and the Eve sub, so still doing that. So I guess we kind of go around. Let's not talk about everything we played. Let's just talk about pick 3 games you've been playing and talk about it, Nate.
Yeah, so I won't go over the last few months. But lately, though, I got the itch to play Everquest. You know, they have that announcement where they're going to do a progression server on the live server from, I guess, Daybreak Studios now, right? So I was waiting for that to get in, and then I read an article somewhere talking about Project 1999. So, which has been on my to-do list to go check out the emulator. So basically, Project 1999 is EverQuest through Cunard
expansion right now.
Yeah, right now, and then at the end of May, it's going to have what's the next expansion, Clint?
Valius.
Yeah, Valius. So, and that's where it stops. It'll never go past that. Whereas the live servers, their progressions are like when everyone votes, it goes to the next expansion all the way until it catches up to the 25th expansion or whatever they're on now. So I started playing that, and man, it's so different from because we went to the live server sometime last year when they gave us those free characters.
Right.
They gave us level 75 or something.
And a free month.
Yeah, and that game is so different because there's a whole intro quest now you can do. By the time you leave it, you're level 10.
On the live server. Oh yeah, and not only that, but once you get done with the intro inside that little cave and you come out, if you go to the dragon people race starting area, they actually have these little cave cubbies that are kind of in a row, and they're level designated. So this is 10 to 20, this is 20 to 30, and you could basically go in there, I think get all the way up to 50 just doing those little caves.
Yeah,
if I remember.
At least for me, there's just so many expansions live already on that game. With so much all these free-to-play items.
Mm-hmm.
I was very overwhelmed, too, with there's just so much content. And then it just didn't feel like the same game.
Mm-hmm.
This Project 1999, man, immediate nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's this is the shit I remember playing.
Yeah, even the sound, when that music kicks in.
Well, yeah. It's all the old character models and everything.
Yeah. I just felt at home right away. It just drops you off. Doesn't tell you how to do anything. Whereas the new game kind of holds you by the hand, which was nice at first, but that quickly wore away. This here, it's I'm completely lost in the city. Just go out and start killing shit, leveling up. And then I died. So I thought that, because a pop-up came up, it said something until level 10, you can get all your stuff back. It's on you. But none of my stuff was on me.
No, that's not true.
No, I guess the pop-ups are still from the client, and the client is from live.
Oh, yeah.
The client is from Titanium, which is 1994 or something, isn't it? I mean, 2004 or something. I have it. Hold on. Anyway, regardless.
So anyway, so I died and all my stuff's gone. All my money was gone. I had a player had given me like 20 platinum, and all that was gone. So I'm freaking out. I had to go find my corpse, figure out where I died at, get my stuff. And then I didn't lose any experience. So you don't lose experience until level 7, I think.
Okay.
So I hit level 9 today, and now it's very painful to die.
Oh, man.
You lose a bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they'll even let you'll lose a level in that game.
Yep.
You can.
They don't fuck around.
If you die close enough to, like, if you just ding a level and then you die, you'll go back.
Yeah.
So I was playing it. I made a magician on the blue server, which is a PvE server. And then I started reading the forums, and they had a thread there, like, come play red, which is their PvP server. And it's like 70-something pages. So I'm reading through that, and it kind of got me wanting to check it out. So I rolled on the PvP server Thursday, and they've got this huge bonus XP. So every player adds like 50%, 50%. So if you have a full party of 6.
So it's a group XP buff, right?
Yeah. So full party 6 on the PvP server is like 300 experience. So me and Butch, and we got another guy, picked them up. I think I hit level 4 in like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But see, that's not holding true to the old game, though.
No, it's not. So I've been playing on my own too, and it's a little better. But all the same, like the harsh rules are still there. It just the PvP server has a big buff to level you up. But I've been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun.
So I was very interested in going back to EverQuest and playing the progression server on the official official game, and then it's not really the way it was because they eliminated the corpse run in those progression servers. Like they'll go all the way back to the beginning of EverQuest, but they keep the corpse runs out of the game. And to me, it's not EverQuest without the corpse run.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the progression server is mainly in content only. You know, I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of things. I didn't read a whole lot about it, but I don't know.
Yeah, all the qualities of life stuff are still there.
Mm-hmm.
See, I wouldn't mind having the graphical upgrades, the UI upgrades, but the rule set is what I'm more concerned about. And to me, the corpse run kind of ruins that, I guess.
Yeah, it adds an element of just like terror when you die.
Right. It makes you not like. I remember finally getting all the way across the map.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hug the what was it? You hug the zone lines, and you could kind of run around all the mobs and then zone real quick. But it was kind of like you didn't get to go see things until it was like there's this big mystery that was unveiled, kind of. But you totally lose that if you don't have the threat of death, I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
the penalty of death.
We were today. We were going through Blackborough. I think it's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love that place.
And so I never started there, so I've never been there. But because when you die, it's so painful. You plan out each little spot. Like, hey, I'm gonna root this guy here. You hit this one.
Right. Plus, that's the train capital of EverQuest too, man. People are always pulling trains through there.
Yeah.
You know what a train is, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to like scream train because you bring them to the zone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, all that's still in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I was playing the other day, and I was just kind of peeking around Blackborough's den or whatever it's called, and I remembered every inch of that place. And it's been like, I don't know, 10, 15 years since I played it. But it's so ingrained in you, that EverQuest. Yeah, because I lived in there for months because,
Yeah, well, that's what you did. It took sometimes a week to gain one level, Like, you'd be sitting there and just farming the same spot, and you'd run into the same dudes every day. Like, hey, what's up, man? That's how you made friends in that game. It was awesome.
Yeah. I remember that one little shelf that everyone used to sit at in there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I liked about EverQuest. You can tell that you can take a game like, I don't know, a game with a lot of features, like World of Warcraft has a lot of features. Mm-hmm. But EverQuest just has these little features that no other game has. Like just spells that are kind of useless, like levitating. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like that you can, like my character, an enchanter, can turn himself into a different race or a tree. You know, it's like, well, I don't know.
I'm playing this game and I'm realizing just how much was in place in 1999.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There was weather effects. There was day-night cycle.
Factions.
Like all this, just all the stuff was in place already. Ships that you could ride on. I guess I remember the game being, because I stopped playing right when I went to college, so I really stopped right after Kunark, and didn't see the game until there was like 20 expansions again later. But I just didn't realize it had like all of our major pillars of MMO already in that game.
You know, what was Velius the Plains of Power? Was that when the Plains of Power came in? Quint, do you remember?
No. Plains of Power was its own expansion. So it
went, okay.
Yeah, I think it went Kunark, Velius, Lucklin, and then maybe Plains of Power after that. And there was a couple like mini expansions like Legacy of Ikesha. I don't remember the timeline after Lucklin. Lucklin was like when it started to kind of go down. You know, I mean, Velius was EverQuest in its prime, and then when Lucklin came out, it was like that was fun, but that's when they started experimenting with some stuff, and it got a little weird.
Yeah, the cat race and the moon.
Yeah, and I didn't mind.
I got lost, man. I got lost. I went through like a gate and got to the moon, and I couldn't figure out how to get back. I bet you that character's still there.
Oh, the Nexus area, I think is what it was called. Yeah, that was it was a confusing zones in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm learning the UI. I'm learning how the game works again. So I've kind of like broken the barrier of how to play an old game like this. Mm-hmm. So I think when the progression server on live are released, I'll probably will play it anyways. At least just to compare the difference whether I want to play.
Did you remap the arrow keys to the WASD?
Yeah, I did that yesterday. Helped out a lot.
Yeah,
you were using the arrow keys before?
No, I was just. You can use your mouse still.
Going for the
but it's funky though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the authentic experience had the little screen that's all you saw, you know, and then the rest was right. And then when you would switch spells around or you'd rest, your book came up. You couldn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
But that was cool. I still could find myself around Kinos okay, and
I get lost in that city constantly.
Yeah.
Because there's no compass and there's no map.
Yeah, and there's some places that doesn't look like there's a corridor. It looks like the building goes to the end, but you can really go around it.
Right, you can walk around it and get on.
I'll tell you the thing that is frustrating as hell, though, is that it doesn't show you where a zone line is. So you walk out of a place, you walk around a building, you go right back through the place you went, and then it zones. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk about a lot of new modern MMOs like EverQuest 1 today.
You know what's crazy about EverQuest is the old, like just going back, where you start off in that game kind of like dictates how you play through that game. I always
for the first few months at least.
Yeah, well, even after that, like Kinos, I might have been to Kinos maybe once. I don't even know my way around that town. I don't know how to get there. And a lot of the areas around there. You know, I always played Dark Elves, so I started in Neriak and Nectrolis Forest, and my town was Freeport, you know?
Yeah.
So Kinos was like the rival town of Freeport, and
right. But you can't take a ship from one to the other, you know?
If you can, I don't know.
So you can go to the port, and you get on the ship, but you got to get off. There's like little islands you can stop at, and you have to get off and get on another ship, but you can get there. I forget how to do it.
Yeah.
But I just remember, so what would suck is if the server crashed and you were on a ship. Because what would happen is you were standing on the ship, and the ship was moving. And then the server would crash, and your ship would keep moving with the server, but your character would fall into the water.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to go find your corpse, which is almost impossible.
Well, you bring a necromancer, and they can summon your corpse to wherever. Also, Nate, you said you're carrying around 20 plat. You need to put that in the bank, man.
Oh, I did. I've learned all that. Because on the PvP server, your gear stays on you. And I think most of your money is lootable.
Oh,
if they kill you in PvP.
So if you're PvE death, your gears stay on you still?
Yeah, when you die in PvE, it's the same. It's a full corpse run. Mm-hmm. But the lootable stuff in PvP is money. So what people do is they take their money and they convert it to gems, and they'll trade in gems.
Oh, like because gems stay on you?
Yeah, because gems will stay on you.
Gems? What kind of gems?
Like, I don't know. A guy gave me Peridot.
Oh,
and
Peridot.
I sold the Peridot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. People are really nice. Like, I had one on the blue server, they gave me some money and gear. On the red PvP server, I just got some money recently.
Right.
I walked by.
So what, you just sell the Peridots to vendors and you get your money back for it? How does that exchange work?
I think that's how it works, yeah. I guess they have a equivalent for what each one is worth,
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a unique way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think EverQuest is the only game where I could care less about the PvE server or PvP server.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally only playing there because, I don't know, I could see more of the game faster with our turnover. Like, I'm not going to go and grind all the way to the cap now, Mm-hmm. So I watched, like, all the Daredevil episodes that came out Thursday, and when I was done watching them all this weekend, I was level 9 or 10, rather than being level 3 or 4.
You'd have been further than that.
I saw more of the game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. They announced recently, this kind of ties into these old games. They announced recently that they're going to take Final Fantasy XI, the MMO, the first MMO, and turning into a iPad game.
Yeah.
You guys hear about this?
Yeah,
I did.
And I was thinking, like, if you had your choice of turning any old game into an iPad game, I'm going to give you 3 options.
I already know what you're going to say.
We'll give you EverQuest, Ultima Online, or Dark Age of Camelot. Which one would you take?
Well, Ultima would work the best out of all of those.
Yeah, probably.
Because you could just touch to move, So.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely Ultima. That would work the best.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're putting, like, D-pad things on the controller.
You know what would work the worst is Final Fantasy XI. I don't know how they're going to do that. Anyway, we'll wait and see.
It actually won't be that bad because Final Fantasy XI, everything is menu based.
It's it's a turn-based combat.
Yeah. So it's I don't know if you've played Final Fantasy IV on a tablet, but that game is great on a tablet. Amazing, and it's one of the best Final Fantasies out. And yeah, I would imagine it will work the same because you just tap. Fight. I want to use this ability.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. EverQuest Next is going to be nothing like the original EverQuest.
I don't think so, man. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I have really high hopes for it. I want it to be amazing, but I have a feeling it's just going to be like a free to play slot machine. Like, just I don't know.
Well, before we get carried away here, we're tying into my next game. So after I was subbed to Mortal Online all the way to the end of March, and I played it probably like. Truly about a month of that 3 months, a week here, a week there. And then when that was over, I'm trying to do like one sub at a time. So I picked Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
And I guess that was because I've been playing my PS4 a lot, and I wanted an MMO so I could play on the computer, I can play on the PS4. And at first, I couldn't play on the PS4. The controls on that game were annoying. I felt like limited. Like it was holding me back. And then I dug into it. I found some Reddit threads for how to set up the controller and your targeting. And all that stuff helped. So now I'm like completely addicted to playing this thing on the PS4. Until we bought Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I played it on the PS4. I think that game was made for little girls. I mean, all of this, it's just so kiddie. It's just like, it's just so... I don't know. I can't stand it.
I really like the dungeon runs, and it's a pretty group-oriented game, or it can be. And if the storyline is decent, and all the storyline forces you to do all these dungeons, and then the way I've been doing it is I log in, I do my daily bonus, so I do a daily lev quest and a daily dungeon, and then if we're on, we'll do a dungeon together. So I'm not even questing really anymore, other than the main storyline. So it's almost turned into like doing dungeons on my PS4, which is cool. I can lay on the couch, relax, play an MMO, and do an MMO dungeon.
Yeah.
And 14 dungeons are very much tank, healer, DPS.
It's got an old school. I don't know, it's pretty old school.
It's very turn based. It's a slower methodical combat, which kind of helps the console.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that I don't know. I can deal with it in EverQuest, but I think in a game like that, it just drives me nuts. I don't know. Plus, no loot.
Yeah, you get loot, but it's all stuff to crafting. So if you're not crafting at all,
I love getting a purple thing drop, or you know what I mean, a blue. You get that. It's the slot machine mentality. It's like how so many of these iOS games work, but it just works so well. When you get I remember Lineage 2 when you get those very rare drops, and it just makes your day. I don't know. Doesn't really make your day, but but you don't get that in that game. You don't get this sword, this killer sword drop.
Well, not randomly. I mean, you get them out of chests and dungeons and stuff. There are secret chests and all that stuff in there that you get stuff out of, but not just you go out and kill a wolf in the forest and he drops an amazing item.
Now I'm getting gear from these dungeons.
Oh yeah,
but when you do the random dungeons, it throws in the old ones, so I'm not getting relevant gear.
Well, you will get it. I mean, it is relevant for your next job that you want to level up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I save everything, man. I
guess my only complaint is they don't have voice chat. So even though it's cross-platform, you can play with PC players.
I figured out how to deal with that.
Cool, it's got that figured out.
So I'll show you. So what I did was I created it's like $5 or something. TeamSpeak on the iOS. And what it does is it gives you a little push-to-talk button. So I just had it on the couch and I just reach over and push it.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
But that being said, we do know now if we're all playing on the PS4, we can use the group feature. So you create a party outside of, in the PlayStation universe, not necessarily in one game, and then you can hear each other talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, me and Clint got DPS, and our buddy, he's playing a tank. Yeah, we got the gold headset.
These are badass, man. I don't think the mic's that great on them, but the sound is good, and they work well.
But it's just so poofy. I don't know. I can't wear
those these?
Things. Yeah. Can't wear those, man.
Yeah. These feel a lot better. These feel a lot better than these feel. This is a
you might want to describe those for the podcast listeners.
Oh. Yeah, this is you've probably seen the PlayStation 4 wireless headset at Target or wherever they sell those. They're blue and they're kind of bubbly, but they work well, and they're not they don't get your ears as hot as the G930s do or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought both. I bought the G930 and the PS4 or the Sony Gold headset. I like the G930s a lot better. Well, the mic is better. I think the sound's better, and I like the way the comfort too. My ears hurt on the gold ones.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there, Nate.
Well,
you're wrong.
I've done 2 6-hour gaming sessions in GTA 5 with that gold headset, and the battery dies on hour 5 or 6.
That's because I have a USB on my couch that I can plug them in, so I don't have to worry about
these G930s have crazy long battery.
Yeah, I've had the G930 for I think 5 or 6 years now, and I don't really like them that much.
Why not just go with the wired headsets, ones that just plug into the bottom of the controller? You have to worry about charging 2 things.
So when I was looking, I mean, they may have those. I don't know.
You can plug these in wired.
Oh, you can?
It comes with a thing.
I think that's to go into the Vita. All the ones that plugged in at the store, anyways, were USB, so you had to have a cord to your PS4.
Oh.
So no, they make the little ones that you can plug into your thing, and you can plug those into your controller.
Okay.
Anyway, off topic as usual. So Final Fantasy 4, you played that a lot too, Quint, right?
Dude, I'm playing that a lot, yeah. But I'm sticking to the PC, man. I cannot, for the life of me, get a handle on that game on console. I tried, and I feel like I don't know. It's like, I feel like, when you're a kid, if you have brothers and you fight a lot and, sometimes they'll jump you. I have a sister. Okay, well, they'll jump you and they'll roll you up in a carpet and you're just like rolled up in a rug and you can't do anything. And then they kick your ass with baseball bats. So that's how I feel. I feel like
would you like to talk about your childhood a little bit here? Because I think we've uncovered some issues.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the kid in that rug when I'm playing on a controller for Final Fantasy 14. There's just a certain level of freedom that having a mouse gives you. And I know, you could use the trackpad to select, UI elements and stuff. But it just, having a keyboard and mouse is so much more liberating. And you want to talk to people. You got to type, and I just can't do it on the PlayStation, man. I tried. I got my hotbars all set up on there. I'm like, okay, this is down. I got my combos all set up. I got macros made, and at the end of the day, it's much better on the PC to me.
I felt that way at first, and then all of a sudden there was a barrier broken after probably like 20 hours. I forced myself to do it, and
I will say though. I mean, if you're a console gamer and you don't have a PC, I mean, I think it would be a good game to play on a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, I think
if you don't,
I think it fits that crowd a lot.
Yeah, but if you're a console gamer and you don't have a PC, I don't know what the fuck you're doing listening to this podcast. Right. But I think it might also depend.
This time too.
I think it might also depend on what class you guys are playing too, whether it's good for a controller or not. Because I was playing a healer and it worked just fine, but I was also low level.
Right.
Problem with me is playing on a PC is then you're competing with Mortal Online. It's like I'd rather play that than any. If I'm going to sit at my desk in my office, I'm going to play Mortal Online before I play probably just about anything. But sitting on the couch, then the Mortal Online you don't have a competition with Mortal. So now we've got all these other games that we can talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, Final Fantasy almost never wins on the computer for me, which is why it's getting playtime finally.
But now you got better games on the PS4. Like Grand Theft Auto Online is fun as shit, man.
Let's talk about Grand Theft Auto in a little bit, because I feel like that's going to be the best part of this conversation.
Okay. I'll skip that. That was my next game. I also got Bloodborne. The only thing I said about that is if you like the Dark Souls 2, Demon Souls, it's the same thing. It's rewarding and fun and hard as shit.
Yeah, I've been playing that as well. It's hard. But I think it's a little bit more. It's a little bit. If you haven't played the Demon Souls or the Dark Souls, this game is kind of a easier game to get into. I think for me, it's cool. It's fun, but it's like when you get killed by that boss for the third time and you got to run all the way back to him. Sometimes you're just like. Put on Diablo.
Okay, do they have the thing in that game where you can write a little message on the ground and allow someone to summon you to their game?
Yes, but you have to find an item in order to do that.
Okay.
And then there's also these things that we haven't done yet where you get something and you can those little dungeons we can
Chalice dungeons. You can
dungeons. We can open those up and do them as a group.
Well, so we got to get far enough along in the game. I'm on boss 2. You're on boss 2. So we're probably a couple weeks away.
If we play it more.
Yeah.
I almost beat the second boss. It's it's one of those games that I can't play it. I can play Diablo 3. I've almost platinumed it now. But I can play Diablo 3 anytime, any play. You know what I mean? But that game, Bloodborne, you kind of have to play it when you're in the mood.
Yeah,
because it's frustrating.
Yeah, well, I've been playing. I just recently got. I guess they just released Dark Souls 2, a new version of that. Scholar, I don't know, it's the longest name ever.
Right.
Scholar of the First Sin or something. But it's an upgraded version of Dark Souls 2, which is 60 frames a second and 1080p and high resolution textures and all that stuff. And I've been hooked into that game, man.
Have you been noticing that your weapons have been breaking quicker?
Yes. That's one thing. Oh, man.
So you know what happened is the weapon degrading was based off of the FPS. So when it went from 30 FPS to 60, your weapon will break twice as fast. And they're going to patch it, I guess.
Oh, man, that's so good.
Is that weird?
I had to start over. I had to completely start over because I played about 4 hours on my first guy, and I realized I kind of picked the wrong class to start with anyways.
That's the story of Dark Souls.
Right. So I started with a knight, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll make like a sort of Templar or paladin type character. I'll start with a knight, you know? Wrong choice. If you're going to play that game, start with a cleric. Cleric's badass. He starts with really good gear, a really powerful mace that just, it's awesome. But anyway, so yeah, I was playing through on my knight, and I got to like, did I get to the first boss? I think I almost got to the first boss, which is a giant tree thing. And I ended up getting stuck in a corridor where I couldn't get back to the bonfire fast enough, and I only had like 3 swords on me, and I broke all of them. And
that's the issue.
Broke so fast, and I can't buy any weapons because I haven't unlocked the blacksmith yet to buy weapons. And so I was just like, well, I'm kind of screwed. So then I started over, and now ever since I started this new cleric character, oh man, I've been like, I'm binging. I played like 6 hours yesterday and maybe 6 hours today. Just crazy.
Man, don't you get like when we were playing Destiny the other night and we were doing that like hard boss, my hands got like I had to take a break. and you know, Bloodborne and Demon Souls does that to me because you get so into it that you tense up, and then
they're very stressful games.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So they basically took Demon Souls 2 and they kind of upgraded it twice. They upgraded it to the new DirectX 11, and they also
Dark Souls 2, right?
Yeah, sorry, Dark Souls. And then they also changed some of the bosses around, so they made it a little bit harder up front, but kind of more evenly spaced. Did you know that? I don't know.
Yeah, they added mobs.
But you can buy the expansion or whatever it is, and have to buy. But if you already have that, I guess you have to buy the upgrade separately.
Now here's what they did. And I could be wrong, but it's kind of confusing. So Dark Souls 2 is its own game. Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin is its own game. It's just a different version of Dark Souls 2 that has all the upgrades and DLCs included, I think. And if you own Dark Souls 2 on Steam, you can buy the other version, the new version, at a discount.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah.
So you buy it for like $30, or whatever.
So
I want to get it. We've been playing Bloodborne. Bloodborne has there's not any variation. At least it feels like there's not. You can have a fast or a slow weapon, and you can use your gun a lot, or you can use a 2-hander. That's like it.
Yeah, but it opens up. I listened to some podcasts and they talk about like until you get out of the first area, kind of like that we're in.
Yeah,
the game totally lots of options. There's poison suits that you have. There's all kinds of stuff.
Okay,
all
right, cool.
So
I remember in
getting
Dark
out
Souls,
of there.
You had like a shield, a 2-hander. You could be a spellcaster right away. Combo the two.
Yeah, so what I'm rolling is my cleric. I've got him some better armor. I got so lucky. So in Dark Souls, they have those like the red mobs. They're like you think it's a player invading your game, and it's just really like an evil spirit that's an NPC. And this guy was it was something, I don't know, Dennis the blacksmith or something like that. It says the Dennis the blacksmith has invaded your world, and the dude was just so freaking hard, and I died a few times on him, and then I got lucky, and he fell off a cliff. So that put him out of my game. I got the stuff for beating him, and then I went around a corner and got a full unlocked a chest, and it gave me a full set of like really nice leather armor, and so yeah, I'm using that now. I'm using sword and shield. I got the fire longsword, which I guess a lot of people say is one of the best weapons in the game.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, pretty easy to get, so I've been upgrading that. And then I also keep a crossbow, and because you can shoot that with one hand and still have your shield. And then I've got the cleric weapon that basically allows you to cast your healing spells. So, and it's a good build.
I'm tempted to buy it. I wonder how
Don't buy it. Play Bloodborne. You've already.
Well,
there's no reason.
Is the experience different enough to where you could play them at the same time, or is it just wait till later?
Well, I haven't played Bloodborne, but I mean,
I've played them both.
Yeah, I know Dark Souls 2 feels like Dark Souls 1, but it feels bigger to me. It feels like more open and like epic looking. I got a lot of hours into Dark Souls 1 too, like at least 30 or 40 hours. So, I don't know. I like it.
I guess I'll wait.
We need to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, Quint, anything you want to... what's your top games you've been playing right now?
Well, obviously Dark Souls 2 has been the big one. Final Fantasy 14, just I've been going through the story of that game. I just want to get caught up on the story. That was my whole goal. And then I got sucked into this relic weapon quest, which was like shades of epic weapons in EverQuest. Like just the amount of time, it is just a grind and a half, man. The amount of crap that you have to. I don't know. I've kind of conceded to the fact that I'm probably not going to finish that weapon before the expansion comes out in a couple months. But I am determined to finish the main storyline because I hear that it gets, as far as I am into it, it gets really good. I mean, once you hit 50, I feel like that's one thing where Final Fantasy 14 shines as opposed to other theme park games is that, in World of Warcraft, once you hit 50 or once you hit level cap, then it's like, okay, now you start your dailies and you start your dungeons and then you're raiding once a week, Whereas Final Fantasy 14 seems like they have a content release cycle where they're putting out story content like every few months they put out a big patch. And so it progresses the story of the game constantly. And so you always kind of are working towards something. You never go into just maintenance grind mode, which is nice. So I'm almost to the end of the main storyline. I think I got a couple more story arcs to do, like 1.5 more story arcs till the end. And then the expansion is coming out in 2 months. And I'm really, really excited for the expansion because from what I've heard, they say that it's big enough to be its own game. And it's all sort of very inspired by Final Fantasy IV, which is one of my favorites of the genre. So...
You know what's my favorite Final Fantasy game? None of them.
Wow, but you would like
Zero.
I guarantee you'd like Final Fantasy Tactics.
I actually played that on the PSP. Actually, Final Fantasy Tactics was like wasn't that on like the PlayStation?
It was on PlayStation 1, and then there's like different versions of it, but that's like all strategy. You got like 10 guys on your team.
That wasn't so bad.
That's a cool game.
Because it didn't have all the cutesy crap in it.
Right.
No, it did. It was in there, but it was a little more dark. It was a little darker. Mm-hmm. I love the job system in that game too.
So you say in 2 months, so June. Is it coming out in June?
Yeah, June is crazy for us.
Right. So go ahead, Dave.
Well, we got Final Fantasy expansion. Elder Scrolls Online is coming to the consoles. And then there is the next big content patch for Eve.
Right, which we're jumping into with both feet.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
What do you mean, hopefully?
Well, it seems like this June is packed, and I'm going to have my kids with me all month.
You know what else is probably going to happen in June? Sarduka.
What?
Okay, yeah, the Mortal Online expansion is coming any day now. Should be.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it could happen anywhere between now and June, I'd say. And that's going to be crazy. If you like Mortal Online, which...
Assuming it launches and things are relatively okay, like...
So that's the thing with it is if once it launches, then they're, once they stabilize it, they're going to launch on Steam. And Mortal Online, is, to me, it's like the only MMO really worth playing long term. Because it's not about the mechanics of the game as much as it's about the politics and, stuff like that. And I don't know. I just hope that we get a lot of new players when that happens. But yeah, June's going to be crazy because I want to play ESO on the PlayStation 4. Like you said, sitting on your couch.
I want to play all 3 of those. I want to play all 3 of those. How am I going to play all 3?
You know what else might launch then, too, is Guild Wars 2's expansion. What if that came that day, too?
Coming pretty soon, too.
I don't give a shit about that one. But the other 3, I can't.
Yeah, with Elder Scrolls 2, it's been a long time since we podcasted, so a lot has happened in that game, too. It's completely changed. They introduced
I got so into that game.
The justice system, which is great. You go around being a thief and selling your stolen wares. You can actually make a lot of money.
Why was that not out at launch? That makes it feel, even though it's kind of still a shitty system, because you just still kind of use the stuff, get a little bit of money.
Well, the the thief part's in, but the bounty to kill the thieves isn't in yet, correct?
Right. They haven't introduced the other side of it, which would be the, what do they call them? Crusaders, or
the do-gooders,
or guards, or what, I don't remember what they called them. As champions. I think they call them the champions.
It just makes it feel a whole lot more like a Scrolls game.
Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah. And this last patch they redid all the animations. So as one big gripe with mine, it was the game it had a lot of weird, funky animations. It wasn't very smooth.
Well, what I hear, why that was because at the end of beta is when they introduced collision, NPC collision. Before they didn't have it, so you could walk through your enemies and things like that. And so the animations were sort of tailored to that system. And then people complained so much in beta, then they added in the collision detection, and then
well, the collision needed to happen too.
Oh yeah,
that helped it.
Yeah. So, but once that happened, then the animations were not, supposed to be for that system. So then they had to fix all that. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm glad they got all this in place and that it's coming. The beta plays now, because this is the best the game's been since it launched. This is how it should have come out a year ago.
I think it's a console game, in my opinion. I think it would work so well on a console.
Yeah. So they just emailed us too. If you owned it before a certain date, if you got the email, basically, you can buy the game for $20, and that transfers your character on the computer to the console, your choice, or copies it. So you can still play in both places. Mm-hmm. So if you played it in the past, like at beta or after beta,
Wait! You don't have to buy the game for $60?
That's what Nate said. I didn't read the email, but
I didn't get that.
I looked into it, and I went to the Reddit thread. Mm-hmm. So you have 1 month from a week ago or a couple days ago to buy it for $20.
Nice.
That includes the game and the transfer.
That's awesome.
As long as you buy it for the end of
cool.
I don't think I get it.
You know what your problem is? You never entered your code.
I know. I played it. I mean, we played it for like 3 days.
Did you not get the email?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, you had to have it done before like June of last year.
But see, I pre-ordered the game. Mm-hmm. I just never authenticated the game because I decided I didn't want to play.
Well, you might be able to put it in like a customer support ticket, because they'll see you can show them when you bought it, just not when you put in the code.
Mm-hmm. I'll try.
You know what's funny though? I got so into that game leading up to the buy to play transition. I was like, oh, I gotta beat it, And actually, I went all the way to 50 on my Templar. I beat the main storyline, which was great. The whole ending sequence and the last boss fight and all that stuff was awesome. And then I played it really heavily, and then like 2 days after I went buy to play, lost interest.
That's also when our sub ended, so we canceled our sub.
I forgot to cancel mine, so whatever.
Yeah. So, I don't know, story of my life.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna play it when it comes, even if I have to pay for it, whatever. There's been a lot of. I'm actually really enjoying my PlayStation 4. I wasn't sure when I bought it if I was going to really get much use out of it, but it's a good system. We've had some fun.
Yeah.
Diablo 3 was, I've said over and over, was just made so much better on the PlayStation 4. I think.
I think a key for me on the PS4 was one of our other gaming buddies bought one. So us 3 on it is cool, but now we have a 4th, and when Jamie plays it, a 5th. So there's a more our gamer ecosystem there is moving over,
Yeah.
So I don't feel so alone when I played there as when I was on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I mean, so what else? Quinn, did you have another game you want to talk about?
No, I think it's about time. We could probably break into this Grand Theft Auto.
Oh wait, I got to talk about my games. All
right, let's do it.
Okay, we are playing this game. We have a server, Reign of Kings.
Oh yeah, you did play that a lot.
It was pretty cool. It's kind of like a cross between, I don't know, Rust and Mortal Online. I don't know. It's like a server like Rust would be. And so we rented a server, and you go out and you build like a castle, and then you attack people's castles. It's pretty cool. Very similar to Rust. So
yeah, we had that server. I built a badass base. Did some raiding. It was fun.
Yeah, played that. I also played a decent amount of obviously Mortal Online. There's just so much going on in Mortal. I don't know. If you guys haven't played Mortal Online, you want to give it a shot, send me an email and I'll show you how the game is played. Like, get you going, I should say.
That's so important in that game too.
Yeah. We've had a lot of politics things going on. I have 8 characters that are all pretty much done now. I can make not the best armor. I can make steel armor and steel weapons. I've got all, my 3 fighters are all dialed in and, all their points are exactly where I want them. And now it's just a matter of, seems like for years all I did was like getting my characters up to stuff. Even though it doesn't take that long, it's just, buying the books and whatever. So now all I have to do is I've got enough steel in the bank. I can make as much gear as I want. I can just go out and fight. And it's a lot of fun. When the new continent comes out, they're adding all kinds of stuff. So
it's going to be madness, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people realize, but when they add the continent, there's one bridge going to it that has to be built. Right. And that's all we know. I mean, I don't know if you can swim around and get up on it or not, but it's just going to be mayhem. You're going
to build a swimmer character, like just the ultimate swimmer, just to get
over there? It's already done. He's got 100 swimming, awesome. 100 diving, 100 crawling, and 100 whatever.
Nice.
All the swimming skills are dialed in. So my idea is, because that bridge is going to be crazy. My idea is to either motorboat a horse over there or use my swimmer to get on the island somehow with gear, like with like a sword, or if I can figure out a way to get my crafters over there and start making metal someplace, then I'll be all set. But I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah, the last update had some really cool looking mobs. Do you see the last one they put out?
And they're adding stuff that, like, mobs that if you walk over, I don't know. I just heard stories like, different desert-like mobs. So
okay, yeah.
So they're also they're going to do something with, if you're in heavy armor and it's daytime and you're crossing the desert, you're going to be kind of screwed. So I'm not going to talk too much on that because I'm kind of going in with half the information. I know a lot of people are drilling down and like finding out everything they want, the mystery of it. I just wanted to launch and just see the mayhem. Because they're adding a piece of land that's bigger than all of Mortal Online is right now. So it's not like they're adding a little continent. They're adding a continent that's bigger than the current continent of Mortal Online. And they're keeping the current continent of Mortal Online. And also you got to think that Mortal Online's continent now, everyone's got their little claims and their stakes. So people are going to be leaving some of that, So I don't know. It's just going to be very interesting to see. And I would advise anyone to get in now and get their characters dialed in. So when that happens, you can participate in the mayhem. But,
yeah, when we were back there last, I got my fighters pretty much ready. I think I have to get that knock down, the new resistance skill you got to pick up. It's only 60 or 70.
And they're also going to tweak some things. Hopefully, the archery, mounted archery is going to be fixed. And, we kind of go through these ups and downs in Mortal where, everyone's a mounted combat, which is a guy who's on a mount with a weapon. And then it's like, we nerfed that a little bit. Now everyone's mounted archery, and now everyone's a foot fighter. And it kind of goes in circles, but I kind of like where it's at now. If the mounted archery gets a little bit of a bump, I think we're good.
I noticed a lot of people are doing foot groups, and there's still a lot of mounted. It seems a lot more even.
So one of the things that's happened is, they added breeding, and I'm basically pumping out bull horses 2 a day if I remember to log in, and they're good bull horses. They come out at level 0. And then, I train him to level 25, and I keep training him up. But, the whole taming thing is kind of like, I don't really need it anymore because I can make as many bull horses as I want. And so what you have to do to breed a bull horse, to breed any animal, is you have to kind of like get one that has a different look than another one. Otherwise, you keep getting inbred, and they die when they're born. So you kind of find I rode my horse way far away, just a cheap horse, and abandoned it. Bought like a horse off of one town, like that I liked the stats of. And then I went and got the male, and then I went and got the female from another little area, rode them back to my village, and started breeding them. The first one, I thought I was screwed because I spent like 60 gold total on these two, babies. And, level zeros. And the first one came out stillborn, or, inbred, dead. And I thought I was screwed. But then I've had like 10 in a row, no problem. Great breeds. But you got to imagine, a bull horse is not easy to get, But now they're kind of abundant. The other thing we have is we have breeding grounds in our village. So we have shore prowers in our village that constantly produce more. So I got my butcher sitting in town, and I got my fighter just killing them and running the carcasses to the butcher. And I've made, like last weekend, I made 350 gold doing that, And, like 5 hours.
Gold from the shore prowlers.
Right. So, I don't know. Good or bad, it's like, if you're going to play the game, you need to get in a guild. Because if you're not in a guild, you're going to be, spending 3 or 4 hours and come out with like 20 gold.
Everyone's walled off these sections with these shore prowlers, so now people are farming behind walls.
Right.
So
but that being said, ID Keep they blew a hole out of the wall. I mean, it also creates reason for people to attack each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and with the Sarduka coming, we're going to have even more reasons. I don't know. It's just kind of like taking the whole thing and shaking it up a little bit.
I dove into some of the breeding in Mortal, and compared to like Warm Online's breeding, where you actually have the animals, they have a lineage tree that you actually can see because they're in the game, and then so you pair your breeding pairs, and you can see them down. So it's not like they have to look different. Mortal seems so arbitrary, whereas it really is. Are these horses related? If no, then they can breed. Right,
but I don't know. I think Mortal's realistic because if you're thrown on an island, all you can do is look at the horses and try to see which ones could breed. The other thing is a horse in Mortal is a hell of a lot more useful than a horse in Worm. A nice horse.
Maybe. I don't know. Horses are pretty important in Worm too.
You go get yourself a step horse, and I'll get my perfectly bred bull horse, and we'll go out and do a little mounted combat and see what works.
So the other thing, it took me months to get to a 3-trait horse, a 3-speed trait horse in Worm, and people have a 5-speed trait. So it's like a year or more to get your horses bred. I don't know. It was a whole mini game I got way into. It was a deeper system.
Yeah, I'm surprised in Mortal that they allowed that they didn't make it a skill. Like any character can breed horses. It's like there's no buy the you got to get this book or that book, and
it kind of makes you think the system's not done. Like it was released early and they're going to add more to it.
That's why I'm banking as many bull horses receipts as I can, because you'd think that they would change that. Like you have to have a standalone character to do anything in that game. Like you can't even have a weaponsmith, armor smith. You can't have a weaponsmith metal guy, right? They have to all be separate. And then all of a sudden, a really important thing like breeding, you can just do on any character. I don't know.
Well, I was making my tamer mage, and everyone keeps telling me, "Oh, you don't need that anymore because you can breed, or it's less useful." But I was having so much fun taming and doing the mage stuff that I just kept playing it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because I was having a lot of fun working the lores up, finding all the animals, taming them, raising them. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people are using those white bears as
Oh yeah,
as a battle pet.
To me, I finally said, who cares if this is like the best thing to play or the best way to play it? I was having so much fun doing it. I just kept building the class.
Cool. Okay, and besides that, I've been playing a lot of PS4 games. I don't know. I even bought Borderlands 2.
What do you think about that on PS4? You got the new edition, right?
Yeah.
Is it just Borderlands?
It's got Borderlands 2. It's got all of everything that ever came out with Borderlands 2. All of the crap. And then it also came with the pre-sequel. Mm-hmm. I've been playing the pre-sequel a little bit. I don't really like it.
Really?
But But I love Borderlands. I love that kind of game.
Yeah.
Borderlands plays well. You know, I would rather play Borderlands 2 any day of the week than Destiny. You know, with a group, it's just more fun to me. I'd rather play Warframe than Destiny also. That game's a lot of fun to me. But, no, I don't know. I bought Borderlands 2 because, I don't know, because it was on my screen and all I had to do was click it. And I just really like that game, man.
You were talking about it for like 2 days, like, I don't know, I think I might do it. I think I might. It's like all of a sudden.
Well, the thing is I have it all on the PC except for the pre-sequel.
That's
but
the problem, man.
Yeah, I wish there was more cross-buy, you know, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm never going to play it on the PC. I'll play it on the time on the couch because it doesn't have to compete with Mortal Online. Or, you know, I mean, if I wasn't playing Mortal on the PC, I would probably be playing, I hate to say it, man, Age of Conan's just been like knocking on my brain, like, play me before you can never play me again, you know?
Doesn't it feel
I've
like
got a
that's
couple
coming
games
soon?
knocking.
Fallen Earth, same thing, you know?
Yep.
Fallen Earth is getting some updates, though.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's not the updates we want, you know? We want that to be a sandbox PvP game.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not that.
It's not that. It's so close. It could have been.
Yeah.
You know, but nope. Just, you know, whatever.
I want Fallout 3 online. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So you remember all that Fallout 3 bullshit that went down?
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. But you remember that they bought the engine off of Earthrise for the Fallout 3.
Right. That was Interplay. Yeah, and then they lost it. They lost the rights, and then all of a sudden Earthrise just disappeared. And
that stuff's all dead. Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder if Earthrise ever got paid. I went and checked the Earthrise forums the other day. I was like, see what's going on. Guess who the last person to post it on it was?
You.
Me.
Oh my god.
It's like, fuck, dude. Man. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah. Well, it's not sad because it was tortured. We waited for that game for so long.
Yeah.
You know, that and Dawntide breaks my heart. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. So, PlayStation 4 is a thing. You could follow me if you're playing. These are the games you can play with me. GTA Online, Diablo, Warframe, or Borderlands. Or, I guess, I don't know, Destiny. What do you guys think of Destiny?
I played it again last night. You know, I don't know. I think it's more fun with people because I played it solo like 1 to 6 or something, and then we played it the last 2 times I played with you guys, and it's a really good shooter, and it's a lot more fun with players. And I started getting some loot and some better gear, and just like the Diablo gear thing, that kind of got addicting. So,
yeah, I think it's okay. I think I'm in your camp though. If it comes down to playing like a co-op shooter, I'd probably rather go with Borderlands. I feel like Borderlands is just more fun. You know, Destiny seems real serious, but
I'm flipping off Nate.
Yeah. The problem I have with Destiny, is that I can't stand the stupid Peter Dinklage voiceovers. That drives me crazy. It's so awful. And not only that, but I also feel like every mission ends the same way. Is go to this place. Okay, now while I'm activating this little computer part, fight off these waves of mobs and don't die. And
no, here's what it does. Oh no, we have company.
Yeah.
Hold them off while I finish doing this stupid thing.
So the last time I played it, I did the sword mission.
Yeah, that's the best mission in the game.
When I finished that, I'm like, oh, this game is fucking awesome.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Never
back to this game is the same shit over and over again.
I heard that sword mission never comes back. That all the rest are, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had a lot of fun with it when we did it. We did that strike. Took us like an hour.
Yeah.
It was challenging.
Yeah, that was fun. You know, that was fun.
Wasn't
You
bad.
got to kill the big boss and all that stuff.
So
cool.
Everything. But that's the whole Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 is that over and over, but not only that, but there's more interesting things. There's cool vehicles and helicopters.
Yeah, but they don't play the same at all. One's the third person. This is the first. They just play different. They don't do the same thing.
They don't scratch the same itch, is what you're saying?
Yeah, not to me at all.
They do to me. I care less third person, first person. You know, I kind of forget that it's third person after a minute.
What game?
Borderlands.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a shooter.
Borderlands is third person?
Yeah.
No.
It is.
First person.
No.
It's third person.
On the console? Third person, right? You see the gun?
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's first person.
Is it? It's been too long.
I forget. I know. Shit. Great podcast, guys. Hold on. Yeah, it is first person, dumbass.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
Yeah, it is.
Oh, fuck, it is.
Retards.
But
Why do I hate the game so
Warframe
much,
is third
though?
person.
Warframe's third.
Dude, I got deep. I can get deep
Oh,
in
that
Warframe.
Warframe is third person. Okay.
Right. So no, Borderlands is fun, man. It's just straight up fun, especially because they don't make those weapons. Those weapons are on some, and I'm guessing, obviously I don't. Those weapons are on some crazy like random generated weapons because you get some cool ass shit that like sets things on fire and blow. I mean, it's just mayhem. It's great. I don't know. If you guys get it on the PlayStation 4, we can have a lot of fun. Yeah. I think 4 of us playing Borderlands would be way more fun than 3 of us playing Destiny.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so too.
And why does Destiny only allow 3 people in a party? That's retarded.
It is pretty retarded.
You know what's retarded is how much shit there is to do in GTA Online.
Yeah, let's get to Grand Theft Auto.
All right, let's talk about it. That is, have you been playing mostly in first person or third person?
Third.
Third.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've done a little bit of first.
Okay, so let me set the setting here. So Quint already had this on the PS3, correct?
Yeah.
All right, and a lot of our friends wanted to buy it on the PC, but I don't. Like I said, I don't want to compete with the games I like to play on the PC. Is already that dance card is full. So I just said screw it, and one day I bought Borderlands 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, and I went out with my girlfriend and I had like 2 or 3 shots of Jameson and a couple beers, and I came home and I booted up GTA 5, little buzz going, threw on the streaming, met these guys, and it was just fun, man.
Yep.
And I think you guys were both watching it. I think within a half hour, you guys had both bought the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like there's a lot to do. The thing I'm worried about getting pigeonholed into just doing the missions and not just free roaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the free roaming we're finding, there's no money there. At least not equivalent. Right. So what we kind of do is you do some missions and then we eventually pick something free roaming so mayhem happens. Mm-hmm. It's way more fun than the missions, but you're not going to make a lot of money.
And it's just like random PvP encounters, and you never know what's going to happen. It's like
right. So this is what I'm thinking about doing is because then we started playing the missions that gave us the most money instead of the things we liked the most.
Right.
Which is stupid. So I saw you could pay $9.99 and get $500,000.
What? Where at?
Yeah,
I'll totally do it right now.
In the PlayStation Store.
Right. So let's do that. Okay, let's just buy that, buy our apartment, buy our cars, and then just say, fuck the missions, and just do stuff that we have fun with.
Yeah.
Well, I want to do the heist. So I'm trying to get enough money to get my own apartment or a nice apartment so we can actually do a heist with just us 4.
Right.
Why do you need an apartment for that?
You have to have a high-end apartment and be able to plan heists.
And be rank 12. So we hit rank 12. Mm-hmm. So that looks like it would be fun because it's like a big intricate thing,
Yeah. Now I'm gonna buy. I don't know what apartment did you get, Quint?
I got it's a middle range, high level apartment. It's like 200,000. It's some black apartment building by the beach.
Okay.
And it gets 10-car garage. It's I don't know what the difference between the $500,000 one and the $200,000.
Do you have the bong and the shot glass?
I do have a bong and a shot glass. Yes.
Nice.
I made sure. So
this game is crazy because it's been so long since a game has like made me laugh, had this much fun, or play this long. Mm-hmm. Because I had controllers dying on me from full charge. By the time I was done, I had to get another controller. That hasn't happened ever. My headset was dying on me. I was playing it so long. It was like start at 7 p.m., turn it off at 3 a.m. Yeah. The last time a game did that for me was probably like I don't know, Minecraft a year ago, and even then, it's not as much fun.
Yeah, you're not sitting there dying laughing, man. This all started this night. Like when I got on, it was like, hey, what do you guys come check out my house? I got a house. All right, cool. Let me finish up this mission. So we go to my house. They're checking out my stuff. Like, you guys want to take the Jeep out? Because I got this off-road Jeep that's pretty badass. So I was like, they're like, okay. So we jump in the off-road Jeep. It's me, Nate, and one of our buddies, Matador. And I start driving GPS out into the hills. Matador, he's like, hey, there's a liquor store up here. Let's rob it real quick. Like, okay, cool. Pull off the side of the liquor store. They run in to rob the guy. And I'm like, I'm going to turn my Jeep around, get a little better getaway angle, right?
Yeah.
No, I accidentally bumped into a damn gas station pump and blew myself to death. I completely destroyed my Jeep. It was gone. I had to make an insurance claim, all that stuff. And the next thing you know, there's like 10 cop cars outside, and we're just running around shooting cops. And like, we ended up stealing 2 cop cars, going joyriding up into the mountains. And we ran into this guy who had like a monster truck El Camino out there. And he kept trying to run us over, and he was trying to shoot us from really far away. So we spent like a half hour just chasing him around the map, trying
and I got his truck.
Yeah, I ended up killing him. I shot him through the window, and Nate stole his monster truck car.
Monster truck car.
Yeah. And then I think I jumped in, and I carjacked it from Nate, and we ended up all us 3 plus that guy ended up hanging out in that area, having like a demolition derby, just stealing cars and crashing into each other for like a good 20 minutes. Yeah, it was right where you were jumping into the Air Force Base. And we ended up jumping in there, trying to steal planes and stuff, man. The whole time just dying laughing. My stomach hurt the next day. Like, I had sore abs.
So I did this mission where there's 2 teams of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts out where, like, I started out in a semi-truck. And me and the other guy on my team started in a semi-truck, and 2 guys are on bicycles. And there's this bridge, and it's 2 lanes, and there's cars, and we have to kill the guys on the bicycles before they get to the other side of the bridge.
I find out what this mode is called, Hasta La Vista, because it's a Terminator 2.
Oh, right.
The semi-truck and they're on the bike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun. Then I also did a mountain bike. I did a boat race. It's just all kinds of stuff. I figured out what 2 cars I want. You know, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
They have these. I guess players make missions and they become popular. So right now there's these missions where they put players on this platform way up in the sky, and they have these giant ramps that shoot you to the platform. So one team will be in the fast cars. The other team will be like snipers on the platform.
Right.
And so the cars are trying to ramp up the platform, kill the snipers, and snipers are trying to pick off these crazy fast cars.
I didn't know those were player made.
Yeah, they're not Rockstar made.
Oh my god, that's
those
awesome.
aren't?
Yeah.
The one I'm talking about is Rockstar made.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, the Hasta La Vista are. Yeah, so and then we did another one that kind of varied it up. It gave us chain guns and it put us in like armored cars instead of snipers.
The whole time we were playing that, all I was thinking about was like, man, this reminds me of the crazy ass shit that people used to make for Half-Life on the multiplayer like custom maps. Just the weirdest things people would come up with, and that now it makes sense. Yeah, this is player made. That's awesome.
Yeah. And you just
how do you make something like that on the PS4? Like, is there an editor?
There's got to be.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that would debunk Butch's whole theory about why a PC would be better for this game because of the mods.
Oh no, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Also, no matter what, okay, people saying if Butch says PC is going to be better for GTA because of mods, they're not going to allow anything that's going to make it better on GTA Online because that gives you an advantage. GTA Online is all about the PvP.
It remains to be unanswered how good GTA 5 can be modded because of the online.
Right, and I think if anything, the PC version will probably be a hack fest. I'm sure there'll be aimbots and all kinds of awful things on the PC version, you know? So
I think that I don't know. I think the PS4 has got me plenty entertained the way it is.
Yeah, it's great, man.
I'm glad we bought it because I had no idea it would be this much fucking fun.
Yep.
So have you guys even played any of the single player?
Dude, I'm on the no.
I did a little bit, but hell, now I'm so like I got goals in online that I can't play single player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, maybe when I get my house. And
there's no crossover from what I understand.
No.
Nothing you do on one goes to the other one. So it's like, I don't think I'll ever play the single player. I don't see any reason to because there's missions. You know, there's some hard missions. I did this one mission with this guy, well, with a group of people, but this one guy just knew it so well. It's like I got in his car at the beginning, and he drove me over to this spot, and he's just sitting there. I'm like, what the hell? Did he just go to the bathroom or something? You know. And then all of a sudden, the goal of the mission comes driving by. We shoot him, we get it, and we go turn it in. But
okay, there is an online content creator. You can make all different kinds of maps
for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
you do it on the computer, and it just like ports it over. Or how does that work?
No. It says when you hit the options button.
Oh, okay,
nice.
So I got that game, and it downloaded. Like it said, like, okay, we'll be done in 2 hours. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. 2 hours later, I go, and it's like, okay, GTA 5 is downloaded. So I hit start, and it says loading the game. And then I went to my downloads, it says 50 gigs more to go. And it took, because I was also downloading Borderlands 2, and I was wireless out in the front room, it took 20 hours to download that stupid fucking game, man.
Yeah. Took me a long time too. It started off fast. I got the first 14 gigs done in like an hour, and it's like, okay, 3 hours left. And then after the first 14 gigs, all of a sudden my download speed got throttled or something like that, and I just left it on all night to download, or in sleep mode, you know. So,
right.
But I'm so glad that you had that. If you wouldn't have had that awesome stream that first night, I probably wouldn't have bought it. You know?
It explains so much that you were tipsy already, because I'm watching you stream. You're like talking to these guys. You're like asking why quit your role playing. You're like hitting the bong. You're like, let's go to the liquor store, motherfuckers. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like when you talk in that game, you can see your mouth move.
Yeah.
And then when you're robbing a store, if you yell into your microphone, it makes them give you money faster. So,
right, but when you're doing that, when you're robbing a store, can other people like so? When you're in a game, everyone with mics can hear you talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I've never heard anyone say, "Give me the money, man. Put it in the bag." Right? So can you hear when people say that, like if you're on the other side of the map? Because I've never heard anyone say it, and I feel kind of stupid saying it.
I've always been in a party when we do it. But when you're not in a party, you're just throwing in the voice chat for your map. So yeah, they would hear you say that, wouldn't they?
Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
I've never heard anyone else say it though.
That's the only thing I don't like about Grand Theft Auto Online is like just the general game voice chat is just it's horrendous, man.
It's bad.
It's so bad. There's always like the 7 or 8 year old kid who's just cussing and talking trash and like it's just so everything.
The F word.
It's like, dude, who lets the kid play this game? You know, definitely not for kids, man.
Well, I had 2 black guys saying the N word. They were definitely black. I could tell.
That's racist. That's racist.
Racist, Nate.
Maybe.
He's from Texas. Excuse him. He's from Texas. No. There are some just horrible people playing that game. Yeah. Let's just say that. Some horrible people playing that game. But there's also some cool people, you know?
Yeah.
Like those guys the first night that I met, they were cool.
See, I wish I could have heard them talking, because when you were streaming, you could only hear you. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You can hear them a little bit.
Yeah.
They were pretty quiet, though, on the...
We were probably hearing them through his headphones.
Right, because did I have headphones, or was I just using this little thing?
Yeah, you might have been using that.
I don't know. Those guys were cool. That was fun, and that kind of like got me hooked on the game because I had played it for like an hour before that, just in single player, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me. You know, it's just like GTA every other one. You know,
right?
But the multiplayer is a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. Last night we went around. We stole a couple helicopters
Yeah.
Really?
Man. Yeah, we found an airfield that has a plane. It's like a Cessna plane and a helicopter, and they're like real shitty. But we got in the helicopter, man, and we went and robbed a liquor store. And I was waiting outside in the helicopter, and just as just as Matador was running up, the cops were swarming around, right? So I was like, they were shooting me. I'm like, dude, I got to get up or they're gonna kill me. So I lifted off the ground about 4 feet. Just to try and like hover so that Matador they have time to run out. I would land, they could jump in the helicopter and take off. And I was about 4 feet off the ground and I got shot through the window and I died. And the helicopter crashed to the ground just as Matador's character was running up. And it's just as he hit there, the helicopter exploded and he just went flying. It was just one of those moments where I just started busting up. You just start laughing. You can't help it. It's so funny, you know?
Yeah, it's goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely... I would say without the online version, I would have very little use for that game, but the online really makes it. And it is kind of an MMO because you're persistent. You're persistently getting stuff. Although sometimes when you jump into the game, you might not be playing with the same people. Mm-hmm. But if they're your friends, typically they'll try to put you together from what I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, the map is huge. That world is
huge.
It's amazing. Yeah. That's an amazing piece of artwork.
Yeah, it looks crazy good.
Yeah, when we had that helicopter and we were flying over the city, like the sun went down and his city was at night and all the lights, like incredible looking. And then we got blown up by another helicopter shooting missiles.
So if you buy a car, you have to insure it, or otherwise it could be destroyed permanently?
Okay. No. So if you steal a car and you can get it insured, you can get a tracker put in it and you can get it insured if you steal it. And then I think
I've done that, but my car still said destroyed.
Well, then what you have to do is in your phone you have your insurance saved as a contact. You call them and they'll give you a new car.
Yep.
There's like a little car that looks like the little Audi. Mm-hmm. Have you ridden that one?
Probably.
That thing is badass. That's the one I want. And then I also have like this muscle car. That's cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's enough.
Yeah. Huh? I don't know. I was going to say, I think my favorite thing is my dirt bike, dude. I got a dirt bike. I just take it out in the mountains by myself. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So Nate and I were doing these off-road races, and we jumped in with these guys, and we chose these like dune buggies and shit like that. And because we didn't see that motorcycles were available, and we get on this race, and these guys just go, gone. Yep. Couldn't even see them anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun game. All right, anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think I want to go play.
You want to play some GTA?
Yep.
All right, man. All right, well, check us out on where the hell you check. Where can we be found?
Twitter at Sandbox Podcast, at Nate Ryle, and at Sandbox Quint. The website is www.sandboxpodcast.com. Obviously, the Twitch feed, twitch.tv/Sandbox Podcast.
My PlayStation 4 thing is Sandbox Podcast as well.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.